Okay, today we'll be talking about product design specification. It is also known as PDS document. So the product design specification is basically a document which is very important. After need identification, at the end of the need identification, we are going to have this document. So this document is having a listing of critical parameters, specifications, and requirements for the product which one is designing. A list of what the product should do and should be, those are listed in this document. So the PDS document is created during the problem definition and actively very early in the design stage, and modifications sometimes is avoidable, but it is definitely possible and good to have modification because it is a dynamic document often, depending upon the kind of product which we are designing and the aim of the product is there. So this document is mostly driven by customer need. So we have discussed about ill structured activity to the well structured. So from the ill structured, we are going to go to the well structured. Here is the structured. More technical information will be available to us in this document. What exactly the product should do, what is the technical specification of the products. So based on this, the designers are going to work on a design which is going to satisfy this product design documentation, product design specification, and that is going to ultimately satisfy the need and wishes of the user. It is an evolving document and it is changing also. So the details of this is we are going to discuss soon. So if you have a product design specification, this document will have requirements, constraints, specification of a new product. And this is basically a comprehensive document which consists of product outcome, and one should conduct realistic constraints which is imposed by the design upon the design by the client. Realistic constraint we have to see. It is also should be quantitative, means some measurement is involved in this for each of the criteria. That is, we can use SI unit, and take for example the weight of the product should be less than 2 kg. Okay, that is better than instead of telling product should be lightweight. So what do you mean by lightweight product? Okay, so a lightweight suitcase, if I say my suitcases should be lightweight, and if I say my mobile should be lightweight, and if I say that my laptop will be lightweight. So but lightweight meaning has different meaning or different notion to the different users, right? So obviously we understand that lightweight mobile should be lightweight laptop should be actually heavier than the lightweight mobile, that we have understand, but there is no measure of it. So here we're going to tell, okay, the laptop should be less than 2 kg of weight. So that is a specification which we are going to give, and that is a measurable specification, and that we can say that ultimately after designing we can measure it and find out whether it is satisfying the product design specification or one portion of the product design specification, one particular criteria of the product design specification or not. If not, we have to change it, modify the product, all this. A dynamic document, it evolves also and frequently starts with the project, and sometimes it's not clear, so slowly the parameters also sometimes is going to come up in this one. Okay, now so what we have one example, but apart from that, if any other product which you want to make design and that you want to have this product design specification, so what are things required for any of this? In general, what are things which are required for a product design specification document? So we should have a title. So it should tell that team members who are listed, what is the title of the project, and what are the conflict arising, what is the functions, all this information should be there in the product design specification document. Then function is what exactly the product is supposed to do. That function is also, it could be having sub functions, it could be having multiple function, it could be having a part of the function which is done by another product. Those things are possible. Client requirement, what exactly the client design requirements, these are the constraints we should be given. Physical and operation constraints, maybe performance, what could be the performance of the machine, what are the safety features required, then accuracy and reliability, that is also another important thing. Then life in service, how long we want the product to service in the continuously somebody is using. The shelf life is, if you are keeping the product for selling, it's not going to sell immediately, right? So sometimes we need to keep in the inventory. So if you want to keep this inventory, how long the product can be there and still it could be sold as a new product. Then operating environment, this is very important because some products are indoor. So operating environment of that is not that harsh, but some products need to be kept outside. So the operating environment should be the product should be designed in such a way that it is suitable for using as a external this one environment. So there are several examples of this one that we can also see. Then ergonomics means how good the product is in terms of when it comes to the in contact with the people. So there are certain products which we need to touch, so then ergonomics is more important, like mouse, so it should fit in our hand. Some products which we don't need to connect, like some of the electronic products, so there are some electronic circuits which are inside a box, so that their ergonomics is not very important, right? So depending upon the products which we have, ergonomics may be important. Size of the product, size means what size, the weight, then materials, aesthetics, appeals, finish, what kind of finish we are going to have. Then quality, so production characteristics means quality. Then target production cost, this again I told, this is very important that product have a certain values to the customer, but customer is going to pay some price. So this price is very important. That is going to govern multiple things also. So if you see car, this price is so different. Even mouse also, if you buy in the market, the price is very different from each other. So what makes this price difference? It's not just about manufacturing. There are so many other aspects of it also. Then standards and specifications are very important. There are some standards, like if you have a mouse which is going to be USB, so USB 2.0, USB 3.0 mouse. If you buy a mouse which is having USB 2.0 and using USB 2.0, 3.0, or it is USB driven mouse, you don't have to worry about that the mouse is going to function or not function, because USB 2.0 or USB 3.0 is something like standard across the world. So this is a standard which need to be adhered to when manufacturing a product. So these standards, there are several standards. In laptop, you see there are so many standards are there: recycling standard, then power standard, the Energy Star. So many standards are required. So these standards are very important for any product. Then customer, for whom we are designing this product. Are we designing for particular set of users, like the students? Even for students also, what kind of students? Are we talking about engineering students, or we are talking about medical students, or we are talking about undergrad students or PhD students? Requirement need not be always same. It could be different also. Then competition, patent related concerns. So some of the products are basically having patents are being filed when designing the products because they're innovative. So when making a new product, we should see the patent are not infringed. Of course, there are many things regarding patents. So patents in one country, sometimes maybe is filed in another country, or sometimes is not. However, we need to see that in that particular country where the product is supposed to be sold, the product should not have any infringement of the patent. We can have licensed product, means one can take the license from the company and they manufacture the product, but this is important. And then competition also is very important, that we see a product, if so many competitions are there, then we don't need that product. Maybe something else we can do, we can buy the product. But when you have an innovative product, then we have to see the competition also, that how many people, how many companies are actually manufacturing this product, and how our product is going to fit in that scenario. and what exactly the product is doing apart from what other products are not doing. So this is something which is important to understand. So these are exercises like wearable computers. What are the specifications there, especially design specification, how we can make it. So in PDS, that is product design specification, there are several things in product design specification that we can add in the product design specification. Some of the content which we can add, take for example general. In the general, we can add the aesthetics. We can have any other constants if it is there. We can add competition and competitors products. We can add the cost also. Then customer details. Then we can also say design for life. Then how this will be disposal. Then energy requirements. We can also add ergonomics. And if there is some existing design, we can actually also say if there's some import export. Then features. Then we can say like function. So this is of course very important. So main function and these are like part functions. Then we can have installation, how to install. We can also add legal terms. We can also say kind of standards. Then we can also add what are the specifications, other specification of parts. We can also add manufacturing, process, constraints, then flow, then alternative, then sections to be used, and several others we can add. Then we can also say how maintenance need to be done. Then we can say that what is the NVH conditions. Then how the packaging will be done. And this will packaging in transportation and to user. And you can also take back the packaging. And then you can also say that take back, then repair, So all these things we can have. So these all are general. Then it could be under materials also. You can say material used. You can say the volume, density, production, procurement, and then shape, size, tolerances, surface finish. Then you can also say for like how it will be used, then how it will be recycled, and these are not there are so many things which can add, okay, etc. We can go on adding various things. Now let us take an example of usage of this product design specification, for example. So take for example a handheld scanner. Many of you have seen a handheld scanner. So for handheld scanner, we can see the product specification. Let us make the product design specification. For a handheld handheld scanner are often used, especially in manufacturing industry, for reverse engineering and also to understand how the product is being made and various other applications. So there will be product, small product or be larger product, and then scanner will be taken around the product, and this product will be scanned, and then this product, after scanning, the data of this product will be fetched in a computer. It could be point cloud or it could be surface, and then from there we can make the CAD model, modify it. Handheld scanner is also used to basically find out the dimension sometime. It could be also used to find out some error in machining, and then several other applications. It could be also used to scan it and put it in the computer as a product. There are various applications. So one possibility is that we can go by the definitions, like sections. One is general, then materials, then product life, or we can just brainstorming in the group and then try to find out what are the specifications of a product in terms of product design specification, and then later on we regroup them in such a way that it actually follow the format of the product design specification. So let us now write it down, all of them, as much as possible, and then later on we'll try to regroup. So one is this and held. Then thing which is coming in our mind is usable by both left-hand person and right-handed person. Weight could be something less than 2 kgs. Then scanning speed, scanning fast, jagged and less, scanning slow, it should be smooth and accurate. And then there should be some anti-check algorithm. The battery life it should be more than 2 hours. It should also have power, like powered with external power source. Then thinking emission is another thing. Like emission, whatever emission is creating, it should be less than what is specified by standard. Then it should be unbreakable also. Unbreakable means not that it is not, I mean, unbreakable means if something is falling less than 2 meters height, it should not break. But of course, beyond that, it may break, right? Then dockable. So we should be able to keep it because we're scanning by hand and suddenly I want to keep it. I should be able to keep it. Then storage should be easy, foldable if required, otherwise it may not be applicable also. And it should be, one can take from one place to another place, transportable, all this. Then rechargeable. Rechargeable, and if it's rechargeable, then one should be also having that indicator of low battery. Apart from that, one can also have EMF shield may be required. Then quality should be good quality, export quality. It should have standard ISO 9000 certified. Here now it is 9001 certified, right? Then the product should be also environmental friendly. So ISO 1440 certified. Then it should have also indicator for speed and accuracy. So whoever has used this scanner before, one have sometime may have felt that if you move the scanner very fast, it will not do scan, and sometimes we will not know also it is that the scanning speed is too high for the user. So there should be some indication of this. Then it should have automatically generate point and surface, point cloud and surface. And you should have indication, starting end indication, start end information. Then you should have the data should be given in standard file format. It should be usable with major CAD system. Dimensions, it should be something like 50 mm base into height, we can decide. Aesthetics, it should look good. Power consumption should be low. Then certification should be there. Then it should have, it will be repairable. It should be serviceable. Let me write in a different place. It should be serviceable. It should have life greater than 5 years. So this can be the warranty. You should have V certification. It should be costing less than something like 10 lakhs. So several others we can have, and we can go on adding. So once we have this list, what we can do, we can group them now. So these are basically requirements. So PDS it will be, and then we are going to group some general, material, then we can group them according to aesthetics. Standard, then we can have this life, we can have some power, material we have done, then technical, and then use after usage, and the disposal, and like this, etc., we can go on adding. So all these things we are going to add, and we are going to group them. So next we will see the grouping, how it is done, and then we can say that this is, we have done this PDS documentation of this scanner. So handle scanner can be many types. You can see this handle scanner. Ultimately, the solution which one can give, maybe something like this. So after the scanning will be done, so this handle scanner will be scanning the product which is there, and then this will be connected with the computer. Okay, I hope you understood. Thank you for your time.